Let's connect the dots from 2025 to 2026. Today's focus, the danger of toxic productivity. In yesterday's video, I showed you that the calendar doesn't lie. February 2025 and February 2026 looked almost exactly the same. But today I want to show you the most dangerous part of the cycle, the red flag I called progress. Thank you for the support on the first video of this 14-day sprint. It may have been April Fool's Day, but I was not kidding. If you haven't seen that video yet, I created a playlist and I will be adding each video of this series as I continue to upload them over the next 14 days. The first link is in the description. Now, back to this video. It's currently February 2026. And the hardship I'm facing looks pretty similar to the hardship of 2025. Opening up about my current hardship was the first step. But as I dig through these lost files from last year, I found something pretty chilling. February 2025 me was posting DIYs. I was grinding. I was showing up like everything was fine because I was staying busy. I thought that I was being productive. I thought that I was winning. In reality, I was just running away from the fire that was growing behind me. So let's get a glimpse of what I mean and take a look at some footage from February 2025. The start to 2025 has been a rough start with these gig apps, and I mentioned it in one of my first few videos. That 2025 may be a challenging year, and it's really shaping up to be that way. Not only in my work life, but also in my personal life. Things have been a little bit rocky, but it's nothing that I can't handle because I have prepared and planned for this. And so whenever you have setbacks or roadblocks, make sure that you have a couple of systems in place that'll be able to get you back on track. And that's where that healthy habits video come in. I actually have a two-part to that, healthy habits, and I give you 10 healthy habits that help me whenever things are slow. Whenever I'm going through a tough time, I use those 10 habits to kind of keep me on track. And so today I actually want to talk about the fact that that the routes have picked up. It is the second week in February and things have really picked up. This week I'll be making just about $850, and I had not hit that $850 mark or close to my $1,000 a week. I hadn't hit that mark in a while. It has been like 500 a week, 500 a week, 500 or less a week in January, as I showed you in some past videos. But this is the first week I'm getting closer to that $1,000 a week mark. Every week's not going to be $1,000 a week. Every week's not going to be a $2,000 a week. Sometimes it's going to be slow. You're going to have your ebbs and your flows, your ups and your downs when you're out here doing this gig work. But you got to have that hustle. You got to have that grind mentality and know what it is you're willing to do and not do while you're out here. And most importantly, you got to have multiple streams of income. And that is why I am starting a candle making business. And I'm going to have a series once I get going with that, all about what it takes to start a candle making business. So stay tuned for that in the future videos. I got a question for y'all. Do you ever use a trick of not getting a cart so that you don't get that much stuff and then you still leave with a handful of stuff like this? Can't carry it, barely making it. I do it every time, but it does help me get less. But sometimes I end up having to go all the way to the back to the front, get a cart because I've carried or picked up way too many things. But I think I have everything I need. This should be about, I think it's going to come out to about $45 in addition to what I've already spent. So I'm probably at about $100 that I've spent on this project so far. But I got a lot of good stuff on clearance and all that. So I'll tally up everything in the end, and then we'll see what the profit is. Do y'all have a rewards program or rewards card?
No, sadly we don't do that anymore.
Okay, no problem. Always got a trick. Try to save $1.
I know. We saved $16 today.
Awesome. $58.14 was the total. And yeah, I spent $38. I think I showed you in yesterday's video. Spent about $38 at Scrap Exchange so far. And then I bought the actual like little candle making kit from Amazon. I think I spent about $26 at Amazon. So the total right now is about, all right, so let's go through that pricing one more time. So my running total is about $130 so far. Hopefully I won't have to spend anything else, and then once I actually go to the market, sell all the candles, we'll see what the profit ends up being. Today is a Friday, which means I'll be observing the Sabbath, which means I have to get all this work kind of stuff done before the sun goes down. Then I'll be dedicating the rest of my evening and Saturday, the first part of Saturday, to just studying, reading, doing different Bible studies, praying, all that kind of stuff. So I want to try and get all these candles made before sundown. This episode, or this part of this little series, is going to be just all about what I've spent thus far. So in tomorrow's episode or the next episode, you will get to see me make the rest of the candles, and I'm going to try different types of candles because I am starting a candle making business. So I want to see what is the best way to make candles. I've already did it with block wax, so they come in like little square blocks. That's the first test I did because that came with my candle making kit that I got from Amazon. And right now I just bought some bead wax and some flake wax, and then I have some other wax that I got from the scrap exchange, which is I forget the name of it, but it's like little clear little globs of wax that you melt down. So I'll be testing those 3 or those 4 methods, and I'll show you which ones work best, but I will be selling all of them at the end of the day. And oh yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make that happen right now. So I read somewhere that when you're making candles, you're supposed to wait 24 to 48 hours before you light it. Okay, I didn't read it. I watched a YouTube video, but I want to light it. I want to test the scent because I walked in and it smells so amazing in here. Made these 4 candles. This is soy wax, and it was wax blocks. Came with the kit that I got from Amazon, which is this. I kind of want to light it. So let's do it. But first I have to cut the wick about 1/4 inch. So, and I don't have one of those fancy wick cutters that I saw online. So this scissors is going to have to do. It's a little tough, Come on. Cutting that wick was not easy. See, it's a little frayed, so I might have to get that fancy wick cutter when it's time to do all those, because I don't want to do what I just did. It was not easy. It was kind of difficult. But here goes. Let's light it. I'm testing it for 2 reasons. One, I want to see how long it lasts. Like how long it burns for. And 2, I want to see how strong the scent is, which, like I said, I'm already smelling it throughout the house when I open the door, and these are just open, unlit. So just want to see how long it lasts and how vibrant the scent is, just to make sure if I need to add any more or less in the rest of the batches. Then we're going to move on to testing out this wax. I'm not sure exactly what kind of wax it is, but I will put on the screen the name of it that I think it is, just based upon what it looks like and what I've seen in the store. Okay, there's the light. So based on what it looks like and what I've seen in the store, I'll put the name of this wax on the screen. And there you go. Much better view. The candle is already burning pretty nicely. Another review that I have after first making it, I did do a good job of the flowers mostly stick, but it's kind of loose in there. So what I want to do is probably fill it up to that line you see. So I'll add some more candle wax to fill it up to the line. I pretty much want them all to be at minimum where this is. So you see it's a pretty decent gap in these two. So I will top them off once I get to the other soy wax. I was thinking about just topping it off with this, but since it's a different wax, I don't know if that's the best thing to do. But maybe we'll test it and see. Trial and error. Got to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work. And yeah, so we're going to test it out, see how it goes. And the next fragrance we're going to do, we're going to make one with coffee grinds. And this is going to be really, really good for mosquito and insect repel. Black seed aroma, coffee aroma, whichever one you like, you can get them both. And there'll be a 2-for deal once I figure out the pricing on everything. Doesn't look like we're gonna get an order. It's 3:27, so let's head to the office and get ready for this meeting. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to go over how to disagree respectfully. There are 7 main steps that Nicolene Peck talks about when it comes to self-government, or I like to call it self-governance. And we're going to go through those steps in just a moment. But if you think those steps are too much, you can start with the 3-step method, which I'll share the details of the 3-step method at the end of the video. So let's hop into the deep dive of all of these 7 steps. Alright, I've gathered up all my stuff. I gotta hit the road so I can get to this order. It is about a $19 order, 2 stops. I think it's about 10 items total at Walgreens. And the street lights are on, so you know I really want to be home. But I had a family meeting and some other stuff to take care of today. So I'm about to go do this last order for the day. Call it an evening. Hopefully I get one more that's $20 in a good order. But if not, that'll be all for today. I'll see y'all in the next one. I made it back, just finished getting the car wash. Now I'm about to jump into working on these candles. I have them all poured. I think I have about 44 candles. I'm going to do the count. I'm going to show you the different scents that I made. And then I'm going to go ahead and look up the next market that I can attend. I still got to do some labeling and other things like that. But I want to see when I can get to this next market so I can go ahead and offload some of these. If you want a candle, then you can go ahead, hit me up. I got all my stuff in the description. And yeah, you can get a candle if you want one. I have like citronella style candles. It helps to like get rid of bugs and stuff like that. It's more of a summer candle, but if you like the smell of coffee, then this is the candle for you as well. And then I have Black Sea scent, which is a nice, subtle, soft. It is good to like come home and like wind down. It's good if you take, bath and things like that. You can really set the mood for your bath. So I have a couple different iterations of that. Most of my candles are soy candles. I did test 4 different types of candle wax. So if you want to see those videos, they aren't up yet, but stay tuned and be on the lookout. Once they are up, I'll put a card right here so that you can actually go check out that playlist of all of those videos. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Yesterday, we talked about the realization. Today, we got into the red flags. And tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how ghosting is a clear sign that something is gone wrong.